Hey, welcome to our live stream. It's Christopher Maselli and Gena Maselli, and we're here live.
We're here live. Welcome. Thank you. If you're watching us, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be trying to do these, Chris, every Wednesday, right? At this
every
time.
Wednesday around 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock Mountain,
Time.
3 o'clock Central.
3 o'clock Central.
So we hope to make these kind of a weekly event.
Yeah.
That we can.
We like getting online and just talking about this stuff, especially when we're able to come into Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and LinkedIn and broadcast and just talk to you guys. It's just kind of a great way for us to just kind of touch base with where we're all at and just kind of talk some writing things out, because we believe that we sharpen one another, right? And we love doing this. We feel like if we love giving back to those to the community, and so many people sow into our lives that way, and so that's what we just enjoy doing this.
We've learned so much over the years, and Chris and I have been writing now for, gosh, over 25 years.
It's a long time.
We've been in writing and publishing, and so we've learned a lot of stuff along the way. So if we can help shorten that learning curve for other people, then we want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So today, Chris, what are we talking about?
We're talking about branding for all writers and authors. You know, there was a survey out by Zendesk, and it said that 87% of people said that consistent branding across all online and traditional platforms was important. In other words, when they get to know someone like you as a writer, they want to see you kind of looking the same everywhere you are, so that it kind of helps build that relationship, because really that's what marketing is, right? It's all about relationships.
Well, and when I boil branding down, a lot of times I think about it in terms of the face that you show the world. And you want it to be an authentic face, but it is the image, it is the way that you present yourself to the world. And the easiest way that you can think about this is when you walk into a McDonald's, you know you're in a McDonald's.
Right.
When you see the golden arches, you don't have to see the title McDonald's. You just see the golden arches and you automatically connect with that, and you see it and you're there. It is the same way for Disney World. If you walk into a Disney park, Disney store, there is a common feel, tone, color, the style. There's a commonality in all of that is just very instinctually, it is Disney, and we all come to expect that. So those are on really big brand levels that all of us can recognize. But even as individuals and as individual writers, as individual authors, we can develop our own brand.
Yeah, I think seeing it through the brands, like the different shops and restaurants and some of those things, helps us really make it concrete for us as writers, because they're doing it so actively, right? They have entire marketing departments devoted just to make sure that it feels the same, where no matter what McDonald's you go into across the world, it has that same feel, that the values they're wanting to impart, whether it's, our food is fast, or our food is good, or our, whatever it is that they're trying to impart, they're trying to make sure that's consistent everywhere you go. Well, we may not have entire marketing departments, but we're also not as big as McDonald's, right? So we can try to figure out, okay, what can we do to make sure that our brands as writers are consistent with what we do, because we just want to make sure they're consistent in everything we do.
Yeah. And that is, you may be sitting there listening to us and saying, well, I'm not McDonald's, I'm not Starbucks, I'm not Disney World, I'm not Apple, I'm not these huge brands. But then think about it in terms of just breaking it down to yourself. What is your writing? You may be a blogger out there who is blogging every week, every day. You may be some other kind of writer. You may be an author who's getting ready you may be working on your first book and you're getting ready to release it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you don't have a brand. You absolutely have a brand, even in those situations. So think about it in terms of, okay, for me personally, what image do I want to put out? What kind of tone do I want to put
Mhm.
out there? What kind of images do I want to use? What kind of copy do I want to use? What kind of colors? What kind of fonts? And there's in all of that, it's consistency.
Yeah, and so I like to think of it this way. It's not just how others see you, but it's how you want them to see you, right?
Mhm.
How do you want to come across? How do you want people to perceive you as a brand? Because we all are kind of brands in a way, right? When
Right.
you come to writing momentum and you see this logo here, right? It is certain colors. We try to use certain presentations when we do things on our podcast or here when we do lives or images on our website.
Mhm.
Everything kind of has that same look no matter where you find us on social media. It could be Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever. It all has that same kind of look, and we've done that very much on purpose because we want to make sure that wherever you find us, you feel like, oh, there's Chris and Gena. I feel comfortable with them, right?
Yeah.
I can talk to them, and then they'll help me with the writing.
But that was not always the case.
Oh, no, not at all. In
That
fact,
was not always the case.
we kind of, I would say over this past really couple years, we have really honed in on this and tried to figure out what all do we want to think about and consider, and what can we work through to try and make things come together, and who are we writing to, right?
Mhm.
So we did. So let's talk about each one of those things just briefly. So color, what did we really, I think, first started with our logo, right? We
We
had
did.
this logo here, the WM, and we wanted to go with blue because blue usually signifies kind of a trust, and we love that color blue that's in there, that kind of
It's actually
teal
my
blue.
favorite color.
It's her favorite color because it reminds her of the ocean.
It reminds me of the ocean.
So that kind of meant
It
something
does.
to us. And then we wanted to have a concrete word like writing, because that's what we're all about. And then momentum, of course, we tried to make it kind of look like it's speeding a little bit because we really want to help writers know that here's kind of the idea behind what writing momentum is. Just to give you an idea, and think about your own brand in terms of this. We felt like, okay, we have learned so much over the years. We've been to so many writers' conferences. We've been traditionally published and self-published, and we've learned a lot, and we want to give back to others the way people have given to us.
Absolutely.
And by doing that, we will help other people leapfrog years over that it took us to learn things. They can learn it very quickly.
Mhm.
That's momentum, right? So that's why we like the name writing momentum.
Yeah.
So we tried to bring that into the color of our logo and the image of our logo. And what else?
We also brought it into just the presentation overall. We brought a consistency to presentation. But along this path, as we were defining all these different things, one of the things we did is we really started questioning, who are we talking to?
Who are we talking to?
Is our audience? And this really took us a while because Chris and I do a lot of different types of writing. We have a lot of different kinds of clients. And I have joked and said, if it's not illegal, immoral, or unethical, we will write it.
Right.
We have tried everything from, we've written scripts, marketing scripts, we've written
children's books, we've done direct mail writing,
nonfiction children's, we've done curriculum, we've done
but because of that,
writing.
We can speak to a lot of different things, and we realize our audience could be people who want to write ads, or it could be people who want to write children's books. Right. It could be people who want to do nonfiction or fiction. And so who is our audience? Who are the people we want to make our focus when we write? That doesn't mean other people may not find us and still feel like
we have clients that are outside of our ideal person that we're speaking to. We have other clients, and that's fine, but we really narrowed down who it was we really got excited about helping and who we saw ourselves helping in 5 years or 10 years down the road. Who was that person? Yeah. And so that helped us identify who we were speaking to. And once we identified who we were speaking to, then we could say, okay, how do we want to speak to them? Yeah. How do we want to speak to them? What's the tone we're going to give? And this is the funniest thing to me. I think this is funny. It's kind of it's a bit of a cringe-worthy funniness. In all this time of writing for so many other clients, one of the hardest things that Chris and I did was decide how we were going to write to our clients. how we were going to write to
I'll
our
tell you,
people, our audience.
I think the reason that is because we have honed the skill of ghostwriting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Writing for other people, taking ourselves completely out of what we do, putting ourselves in those people's shoes, writing in their words. Okay, we have honed that skill for years. That's been a bulk of what we've done, whether it be books or letters or articles or whatever. But so when we came to do our own material,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of had a hard time figuring out how we spoke. And I think what
That's
it came
true.
down to is as we struggled with it more and more, we just kind of realized we just need to be ourselves, right? We need to be quirky and silly and just who we are, professional but still fun. And so
And hopefully real, you know,
and hopefully real.
we never want to come across like we have all the answers,
Right.
or that, you know, somebody else could never achieve our level of intellect. Like that is not what
No,
we're
not at all.
about at all.
Very down to earth is what
Yeah.
we feel, and so we're hoping that comes across, and we kind of started to look honestly at the things that we did not part of our business and just see how we communicate with others, and we realized that's who we are. We're kind of funny sometimes and silly sometimes, and we try to be professional and nice, but very down to earth, and that kind of now has just become how we write our emails,
Mm-hmm.
how we write our website. In fact, it caused us to go back through things like our website paragraph by paragraph, because we realized we were so stilted in everything we wrote that we needed to make it very friendly. And so we said, let's go back and add humor into every paragraph and just kind of be ourselves more. And that made a huge difference, didn't it?
It really did. We've had a lot of people who have reached out to us from there. We've gotten a lot of feedback on our emails and our newsletters that have gone out. And so hopefully that is connecting. And what we learned, I think, also through that process is to stop trying to please everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That idea of, you know, which is hard if you're a people pleaser, and Chris and I kind of are. It's kind of hard sometimes to say, oh, but everybody might not like me.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That's okay.
Wait, what?
And right. I know, but that's okay. And here's, I think of it kind of like a number line. Your person that you are speaking to, your market, is at that zero mark. It's dead center. But there are going to be people outside of that are still going to be attracted to your message.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is your message. Maybe it's not your style that they're going to like. Maybe it's your message. Maybe it's your style. Maybe it's not your message. We know people that, you know, absolutely love they follow certain influencers just because they think they're so much fun to follow, not necessarily because what the person is selling or speaking about really is where they're at, but they just really enjoy hearing that person's style. So you're going to get some of those outliers, and then beyond that are going to be the people that you're not going to connect with. They're going to be the people that are probably going to go to somebody else for the same exact message, but just the style is different, or there's a different twist on it, or you know, there could be 1,000 different reasons why those people are not attracted to your message or to you as a brand. That's okay, because there's enough room in the market for you to find your audience and for you to find that niche that is going to just love you.
And this affects everything you do, because when you start to then advertise your book, you're going to realize, oh, you can choose the exact correct avenues for doing that based on where your people are, right? Where the people are that you connect with. So if they're on Facebook, that's where you're going to advertise. If they're on LinkedIn, that's where you'll advertise. And that will all be affected by your branding and your presentation, right?
Well, and I think that's one of the things that we really wanted to bring up. I think a lot of times when people talk to us about publishing, when they talk to us about writing, they come with us and they say, well, I want to write a book. Or they say, I've written a book. Now I want to sell a book. I want to market it. And they're leapfrogging over, or they're not aware of this branding part of the process. And that branding part is the part that says you're going to start establishing a relationship with people now, before your book comes out. Before the book, you are on, it might be social media, it might be through an email marketing, it might be through doing webinars or something like that, but you're going to start talking to people and finding your audience through your branding that you're doing through your the brand of your of whatever it is you're talking about. And as you start doing that, then it'll be a whole lot easier to sell the book once the book is finished.
And again, it affects everything, right? It affects who you're interacting with, how you're writing your book, your tone, what you're putting in that book is all based on those people that you're interacting with. Again, marketing is relationships. So really consider, as you're considering your own branding, who are you trying to connect with? Who are you writing for? What is the message you've got for them, and how can you help them and enrich them and build that relationship together, right?
Well, and I think probably one of the independent authors that we know who has done this so remarkably, just really well, and she's done it so instinctually she doesn't even probably realize how well she's done it, is our friend Shel Harrington. She has the website or the Facebook page Fat Bottom 50s. Such a fun
Get Fierce. Fat Bottom 50s Get Fierce.
Fat Bottom 50s Get Fierce. Okay. It's such a fun tone. So, I mean, she creates images, she creates tones, people are pinning her stuff, people are sharing her stuff. They've fallen in love with that fun, quirky, kind of, what would you say, like poking fun at ourselves after 50, and she developed that relationship so well. I think Fat Bottom 50s Gets Fierce is at how many?
It's about 495,000 followers. Okay, so nearly half a million followers. But that's because she knows who she's writing to, and she's being herself, right? And she's realized, okay, as she studies, what do they like? What do they respond to? How can I then produce more things that are along those lines? And again, she does it very instinctually. It's not like she's making spreadsheets necessarily or anything about this. It's all very much just kind of I guess instinctual, but she's also thinking about it, right? She's paying attention.
Right, she's thinking about it. Well, then when she came out with a book last year. She's getting ready to come out with her second book, but her first book, Quinbloits, came out. Do you have it?
I've got it. It's back behind me on my shelf.
We want to see it. I got to show it to you guys.
This one, Over 50 Defined by Shel Harrington. Part 2 is coming out this fall.
Okay, but now open it up. I don't think Shel will mind if we show the inside. She comes up with these quirky words, and then there's a definition that's a funny definition that people over 50 will totally get. So give an example. Can you read it? Give it an example.
Yeah, so let's see. A bedjury is an injury sustained simply by getting out of bed, right? Stuff like that. Very funny. She's got a little picture that goes along with it, and it's full of those. It's full of, dozens of them.
Okay.
And they're all kind of like going to make you chuckle kind of things. But if you're over 50, you'll totally
identify with this. So what we're saying is, and this style that she's got here is the same style that she's developed over the years on her website. So we're just using Shel as an example, as we often do, because we think she's fantastic. But just the fact that she went through that process, and as I said, for Shel, it is a very instinctual process. She just kind of understands and just naturally gets this. But she began developing this market, developing her brand way before she ever came up with a book. And then when she came out with a book, she had an audience to market to. And so it made the marketing side so much easier. So we really just wanted today to come on, and we're going to be talking more about branding, because like I said, when I talk to writers and when we get in groups, so many times people want to talk about the writing, they want to talk about the publishing. Should I go traditional? Should I go independent? And I want to talk about selling my book. But they completely leap over the branding side of it.
For years.
We did for years. We totally understand that. And we understand the process of going through it to figure it out. And we want to help you get there too.
So
Yes.
We want to let you know too, if you are looking for someone to write with, you're looking for a writing partner, we have created what we call writing moments. And these are fun writing times where we can get together for about an hour, and we start with 15 minutes of training, followed by 45 minutes of just writing together over Zoom. We get together, we have about a dozen people or so in our group now. We would love to have more of you join us and just get together with us on a weekly basis. We meet every Wednesday at noon and at 5 p.m. Central, and we just write together, and it's been a lot of fun.
But we write, but it's also the support. I mean, we get there a little bit early. We talk a little bit about what everybody's doing, what's going on, what are you working on? Oh, I can't wait to see that. Oh, we even had today, somebody shared a project, and then there were several of us who were like, you know what? I think I want to be a beta reader for that when you get it done. So we're really about, we're doing this to build a community. We want to build a community that will help us all succeed together. And we do this along with our friend, Rene, a novelist, a screenwriter, just really has so much experience, is so fun and so just humble and gracious to share her knowledge with people as well.
Yeah, and there's a bit of that in every one of these. We try to have about 15 minutes where we share something new. Just today I shared about picture book dummies. If you've written a picture book and you're wondering how do I make it flow right into the picture book, there's actually standards for that, and we talked about that today in Writing Moments. That's all part of what we do. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, check out writingmoments.com, and all the information is on the webpage. It looks just like that one there, and we'd love to have you join us.
Definitely. Well, thanks you guys for tuning in, for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, please make them.
Let us know.
Yeah.
We love to answer questions.
Yeah, definitely. And we also, Chris, just one other thing, on our website, writingmomentum.com, you can sign up to join our newsletters, and we have some free PDFs there about how to market your book and also about how to make the most of your writing time.
Yeah, so, we like to create resources for writers and give them away on a regular basis. So feel free to jump in and grab one of those too.
All right.
Good talking to y'all. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and we'll respond. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.